covering your hometown. From 5 newsrooms across the region, this is WDBJ7.
We have reason to believe that he may continue to be armed and dangerous.
A quiet neighborhood put on lockdown as police swarm the area looking for a wanted Marine.
This is a very dynamic situation because at this particular point in time, we do not know where Mr. Brown may be.
Michael Brown is accused of killing a man in Franklin County, and the search led federal and local law enforcement to Grandin Village. Good evening, I'm Jean Jadhun, live from the Grandin neighborhood where night has fallen and there is still no sign of missing Marine Michael Brown, who was wanted for murder in Franklin County. The search here in the Grandin area all started this morning before dawn when police got a call of a suspicious person seen in the vicinity of Michael Brown's grandmother's home on Tillett Road. And then the search also brought police and federal agents to here at St. Elizabeth's Church in the parking lot where they raided an RV they believe Michael Brown was traveling in. And just within the past 10 minutes, that RV was hauled off. You can see on a trailer being towed out of the St. Elizabeth parking lot, taken away after police did a thorough search. Now at 6, a devastating explosion at a gas station in one hometown sent 4 people to the hospital. Others are still missing.
This view from Air 7 that's behind us here shows the aftermath from the destruction.
This is what our cameras captured when we first got to that scene. Those huge flames destroyed the gas pumps and a truck. And this viewer video shows the devastation to the front of the market.
One word I've heard a lot today is shocking. They say these flames reached over the tree line. Another word I keep on hearing is devastating. Devastating to see a community staple reduced to rubble. When flames took over the South River Market Friday, Ryan Clark was just seconds away.
You hear a big boom, and it kind of makes you shudder a little bit, and it shook the truck. And when I made the turn, you could see how the smoke was probably 80 feet in the air.
This is Air 7 footage from Windy Ridge Road in Franklin County. You can see that house destroyed by those winds.
Just take a look at the home right now. You can see some family members were just inside trying to gather some important documents. The Andersons lived in this home for 40 years. They raised kids and grandkids in this house. Now it has fallen victim to the tornado that touched down this morning.
When my staff showed me the photo in question yesterday, I was seeing it for the first time. I am not either of the people in that photo.
Tonight, Governor Northam denies involvement in a racist yearbook photo that has sparked national outrage and says he will continue his term.
We wanted to give you a quick look at the protest that we do have going on right behind us. You can see that the group is out here with a sign that says resign, road flares behind it trying to illuminate what's going on out here.
Governor Ralph Northam repeated his apology, but he was no longer saying the picture included him. He said he hadn't seen it before Friday and was convinced he had nothing to do with it.
It has been 1 year since this news conference. Governor of West Virginia, Jim Justice, flanked by state leaders, calling it a neat day.
Today, we have been able, my son and all of his companies, to now pay any and all tax obligations that were due the state of West Virginia.
Months leading up to that moment, the billionaire and his family had been under fire for not paying taxes. The state would not disclose how much the Justice companies paid up, just that all of the balances in West Virginia were cleared. The governor addressing reporters.
Now, one of your questions today may very well be, yeah, but what about Kentucky or what about Virginia? And I think if you'll just bide your time and wait, you'll see the exact outcome there as well.
1 year later, we wanted to know, what is the outcome here in Virginia? WDBJ7 filed open records requests across the state where the Justice family is known to own property. In mid-June, we found more than $2 million of delinquent taxes owed in 10 of those localities.
As people in the town of Bedford continue fighting for a passenger train station, we're hearing candid comments from 2 state employees who have influence over whether the project will get funding. Their statements prompted a human resources investigation at the state agency that oversees Virginia rail projects. It all started with a voicemail left for WDBJ7's Tim Saunders. So Tim, Why were those state employees calling you?
We were working on a story related to the proposed Bedford station, Jane. The employees were trying to leave a short message asking me to call them back, but they forgot to hang up the phone. What followed was more than 2 minutes of candid and at times explicit remarks about the Bedford proposal and a number of statewide leaders. In the voicemail, McLaughlin can be heard saying, "If we have to pay for Bedford Station instead of Longbridge, then we're expletive. Because do you know how many other things we're going to have to pay for around the state?" Smith responds saying, "We're expletive on a bigger scale with Norfolk Southern." McLaughlin replies, "I thought Norfolk Southern doesn't even want it," followed by Smith, who says, "That's what I don't understand about Shannon's budget. There are so many bigger things at play with Norfolk Southern right now."
Now on WDBJ7, it's gripped the nation, and it's affecting many here in our hometowns.
You put your addiction above anything else in your life.
Thousands of lives lost in Virginia.
An overdose death is a preventable one.
Tonight, messages of hope from those who have battled back.
It's okay to talk about, because if not, you're going to end up going back.
And inside the fight, as doctors across our region rush to save the youngest victims of this epidemic.
It's just heartbreaking.
Plus, for the first time, how it feels to work on the front lines.
As a community, we've got to address it.
Personal stories and expert advice for families. Tonight, timely and inspiring. A special WDBJ7 Your Family Matters presentation. Battling Back, the opioid crisis.
We're coming to you from Allegheny County, where a view from above shows a picturesque downtown area not unlike many of our hometowns. And it's here where the epidemic reached a juxtaposition that pitted sheriff against son.
Over the next hour, you will hear from the families impacted by substance use and from the responders on the front lines.
The summer of 1969 was a season of monumental headlines. The world paused to watch Americans land on the moon. Woodstock electrified a generation and changed the course of rock and roll history.
But in Central Virginia, no event had a greater impact than Hurricane Camille.
Camille overshadowed a lot of the other things that were going on in the country for this community.
In the span of just a few hours, more than 27 inches of rain overwhelmed parts of our region, causing widespread floods and mudslides.
Like an ocean wave, it just rolled in.
Entire families were swept away and dozens were killed. Those who survived were traumatized and forever changed.
It was just terrible.
On the anniversary of this tragic event, your hometown station is hearing from those who lived through the storm and helped our communities recover from the devastation.
Join us as we're remembering Camille, 50 years after the flood. Hello, I'm Tim Saunders.
And I'm Brent Watts. This marker along Route 29 next to the Rockfish River in Nelson County commemorates Hurricane Camille. It stands in a spot that would have been impassable 50 years ago this week.
The major highway connecting Lynchburg and Charlottesville was buried under mud and debris. One of many locations impacted by a storm meteorologists say is unparalleled in modern Virginia history.
A special WDBJ7 presentation.
Theirs is a story of one small American town that went to war and died on Omaha Beach.
The final salute to the heroes of D-Day.
John Beam, Lieutenant, U.S. Navy.
All week, as the world marked the 75th anniversary of D-Day, your hometown station showcased the role troops from our region played that day. From the beaches of Normandy,
about 200 or 300 yards from shore, we encounter artillery fire.
To the ceremony in Bedford.
We need to know the enormity of what took place that day.
Stories of bravery and sacrifice.
The things they carried on D-Day. One by one, how they helped tell the story of D-Day.
Plus, the former WDBJ7 anchor who went to Normandy.
There is no question there was no greater story for me in my 40-year career.
The history, the impact, a special presentation. Your hometown station honors the heroes of D-Day.
We thank you for joining us this Sunday morning. I'm Robin Reed.
And I'm Jean Jadhun. This week, stories of courage and sacrifice were front and center at the National D-Day Memorial in Bedford. We want to use the next 30 minutes to take you back to those moments.
History is made The Virginia Cavaliers are national champs. And tonight, your hometown station covers it all. From Minneapolis to Charlottesville. With team coverage everywhere. This special edition of WDBJ7 starts right now.
An exciting night. Thank you for staying up late with us. I'm Melissa Gayona.
And I'm Jean Jadhun. You saw it right here on WDBJ7. The Virginia Cavaliers overcame a tough Texas Tech Red Raiders team and a tie to win in overtime with the final score 85-77. The celebration for these NCAA champions started on the court, but it is far from over tonight.
And we have 8 anchors and reporters spread out in Charlottesville and Minneapolis, bringing you team coverage of this historic night. Let's go ahead and get started with Sports Director Travis Wells, who is live at US Bank Stadium. Travis, what a night for the Hoops.
It was. The Wahoo fans, happy Wahoo fans, starting to pour out of US Bank Stadium following the celebration for their team. Virginia was trying to become the first team to go from losing to a 16 seed in the first round of the NCAA tournament to winning a national title in the next year.
Now from your hometown station, WDBJ7, this is 7 at 4.
Mel, it's been over 2 years in the making, but finally, the live studio audience at the Grandin today.
I know. Of course, we're going to have food on the show. We're going to learn about the history of the Grandin Theater and also some shopping.
Yeah, and then even a Community Inn update.
Yes.
But I don't feel like we're dressed to impress.
Oh, Logan, it's the magic of the Grandin.
Well, let's go.
Good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us here on 7 at 4. This is our first ever live studio audience show that we have ever done here on WDBJ7,
Yes.
and we're doing it right here at the Grandin Theater.
Could you think of a better place to do something like this? Melissa, Gayona, Logan, Cheryl, and hundreds of our favorite friends out here today. Thank you guys for coming. How you feeling today, huh?
Oh, man. You know, one of the reasons I love 7 at 4 is just because of the energy and entertainment that this show brings right here to many of our hometowns. So we're so glad that you guys could be a part of this live studio audience show. It's going to be a great time today. I'm so excited.
A monumental occasion.
Yeah.
And not only are we highlighting just the Grandin Theater, Mel, we got all kind of stuff in the Grandin Village because it's constantly changing, adapting, but a lot of things stay the same. And that's what people love about it.
They say good things will come to those who wait.
Oh my gosh, I still don't see her.
But patience is hard to pack during the holiday season.
Oh God, this is making me nervous.
When what you're waiting for is closer than ever.
Madeline Wilson, we call her Maddie. She works for Williams-Sonoma and we haven't seen her since June. So excited.
It is here.
Their plane, I think, is already here.
In the arrivals terminal of the Roanoke Airport.
Are you guys coming from Charlotte?
Yes.
Where precious cargo is eagerly received.
I'm waiting for the plane to arrive from Charlotte that's carrying our son.
John Elliott's son lives in California these days, working for Google. He hasn't seen his son in almost a year.
Sometimes I feel empty because the first 18 years of his life and our other son, we have 2, I spent coaching them, taking them to practices, being with them at all the activities, and then all of a sudden, it's gone.
Gone for a time, but home when it counts the most.
Oh, this is Kyle.
And so this Christmas Eve, after all of the planning and all of the waiting.
Oh my God, there she is. I gotta go. Bye.
A delivery like no other.
Isn't your shirt cute? Oh God. Hi, girlfriend. OMG. Oh, you look so cute. Thank you. Are you crying? Yes.
Tears and hugs and smiles that no amount of money can buy. And for Elliott, a chance to wrap his arms around the most valuable gift he'll ever receive.
What's happening, son? I love you, man.
In Roanoke, Leanna Scacchetti, WDBJ7.